Hello and welcome to Round Cabbage Craft and Dolls YouTube channel. I'm Cabbage and today you are in my hobby room. This is my first video that I've ever made on YouTube. I've been watching a lot of other collectors for quite a while, but I thought it could be fun to make my own YouTube video after watching others and finding that I really wanted more content focused on philosophies surrounding collecting and philosophies surrounding hoarding and the differences between collecting and hoarding and stuff like that. And so that's what I really want to fill. I am a certified object antiquarian. There's not really a correct term for it in English. I'm not originally from a country where English is the native language, so it's a different word in my language, but I felt that I could give some interesting insight and perhaps also participate in some of the trends and stuff that I've seen online a lot that I think are very fun. So either way, this is my first video, and to introduce myself and my collection, I thought that I could perhaps participate in some of the doll tags that I've seen floating around the internet for a while. I thought a lot of them were really fun, and so I wanted to make my own. So this tag I found in a few old posts on Tumblr and Flickr and on Den of Angels and a few other places like that. So I don't really know who the original creator is, but if anyone knows, feel free to put it in the comments down below or tag me or anything like that so I can add them for credit, of course. Alright, so question number 1. If you see me looking off to the side, that's because I have my computer there with all of the different questions. So question number 1 is, how long have you been collecting? So I really started collecting when I was a kid. I really loved toys in general, and especially LPS, Ella's Pep Shop. And me and my younger brother, we had a lot of those. But I didn't really start collecting dolls until I was an adult. I did have a Monster High collection when I was in high school, but I mostly used those to make customs, so I don't really feel like it was a collecting of Monster High. It was more a collection of dolls that I used to make and unmake customs and continue working with creatively. Either way, I started collecting dolls specifically in 2020 and very, very slowly. So I got my first doll in 2020 and then I continued collecting 1 doll every year, 2 dolls every year until 2023 when I decided to start collecting for real. So I kept buying more dolls then and started to invest in being a collector. So my first doll is this girl right here. She is a Riley Crystal, what's it called? It's called the A-Zone X Cute Magical Cute Crystal Bravery Riley, and I think that she is absolutely gorgeous. She is just such a cute doll. She has this gorgeous pink hair, but it's not like bright pink, it's more of a like blush pink, slightly going into purple, and I really love it. I have this little pointer thing here so that I can point out to you without showing my face. I absolutely love the way that her face looks. I think that she is just absolutely gorgeous. I started wanting to collect A-Zones because I think they're so versatile. They are so like fun, posable, very easy to you know, do whatever you want with. So I really wanted her, and I fell for her when I saw her original pictures. So she's redressed here because I redress pretty much all of my dolls, but her original pictures where she's wearing her like magical girl clothing, I just think that she's so beyond beautiful, cute and amazing in those. So I really felt like I needed her, and I had a friend because I was showing them pictures of the dolls, and they were like, yeah, you have to buy her, you really want her. And so I decided to get her, essentially. So question number 2 is, what do you collect? And I collect fashion dolls, mainly 12-inch dolls. So Barbie, Mycene, A-Zones, Integrity Toys, JHD dolls, and a few other different ones like Lika, Jenny, Petworks dolls, a few other ones. Anything that really catches my eye. The only thing I don't really collect are Bratz thus far, but we'll see if that changes anytime soon. Question number 3 is, how many dolls do you have? And I don't really know how many dolls I have, like in total in the entire collection. Probably somewhere around 50, 70, somewhere around there probably. Depends a bit on what you think of as a doll, really. But yeah, somewhere around 50 to 70, I would say. And question number 4, which part of your collection are you the most proud of and why? I would say I'm mostly proud of my entire collection as a whole, not just a doll. I buy pretty much all my dolls secondhand, and then I either fix them up or they come in pretty good condition. And from there I work with them to restore them. Usually it's just the hair. I don't really, there are very few dolls that I collect in like complete condition, so I usually am not bothered by pieces missing or clothing pieces missing and things like that. So a lot of the time I'm just happy to have the doll in my hands, and then I can go from there with like restoring and any fashion that's missing. I'll just pick up a piece of clothing or shoes or things like that. But I have, because I've been like collecting actively now for a bit over 2 years, I've been very careful with what I pick up, I would say. I've been trying very, very hard to not just impulse buy anything, since I know I'm very prone to that. But I'm very, very happy that I have managed to get 2 Kenzies thus far. I think that she is my favourite My Scene character. She is just such a gorgeous character to me. I really, really love her freckles. I have a lot of freckles. And I was very happy when I saw that this character had a lot of freckles, and I just think that her screenings, both the older ones and the newer ones, are just so gorgeous. And I think that her hair colour is so pretty, and her clothing that she comes in is usually so pretty. So I'm super, super proud and super happy to have both of the Kenzies that I really, really wanted when I started collecting, and I have gotten both of them at a really good price secondhand. So both of them have been like just completely destroyed when I got them, and then I've been able to restore the hair, clean them up really well, give them new bodies so that I can pose them and put them in new clothes and stuff like that. And so I'm just super, super happy about that. The next question is, which single doll cost you the most money, relatively and literally? I don't really know what most of my dolls would have cost in new condition. I only look that up if it's a doll that I want in new condition. Other than that, I'm like more like debating it with myself if I'm willing to pay the price that it's for sale at. But the doll that cost me the most literally would be the Veronique Perrin Little Vintage Ensemble from Integrity Toys. I knew when I saw her that I would have to get her. I think that she is just one of the most gorgeous dolls ever. I love her hair. I think her hair is just gorgeously put in factory setting. I love that it's all swirly and swoopy and all like nice and vintage and fun. I think the bag she comes with is just gorgeous and fun and like really, really well made, super high quality. The suit she comes with is also super gorgeous. It doesn't help that I absolutely love stripes. Stripes is my favourite pattern. My friends sometimes call me the stripy woman because I really like stripes. And I think that the pop of colour that she has both on her lips, nails, and then on the shirt in that turquoise is just so gorgeous. And I knew that I just really wanted her when I saw her, and she cost me a pretty penny because I bought her completely new, and not from Integrity Toys directly but from one of their retailers, and I just felt that I really needed to have her. And I think she cost about 250 Australian dollars, 300 Australian dollars, somewhere around there, a bit less maybe. She was on sale when I got her, so she wasn't like completely new price, but she was still very expensive for the dolls that I pay. Usually, since I only buy secondhand, they usually just cost between 10 or 30 bucks a pop, really. But so it was a pretty big spend, but I'm so happy to have her. So the next question is, which doll line is your favorite to collect and why? And I collect a very wide set of different doll types and dolls. So I collect Bratz Kids, I collect Bratz Ponies, My Scene, Barbie, JHD dolls, Integrity Toys, Lika, Jenny, and A-Zones and a few others as well. But I would say that my favourite to collect is probably going to be My Scene, and that is because A, it's not like super hard for me to find them secondhand in acceptable condition. They're usually not in like super bad or shitty condition or anything, but it's also very hard to find them in like complete condition, so you usually find them somewhere in the middle, pretty cheap, and I really enjoy them. I also think that their faces are just so like versatile. I think they look so mean but like so pretty. They look really bitchy, and I really love that. So I would have to say probably Piscine out of all the good dolls I collect. What made you want to collect dolls? That's such a hard question. I think that in my way of collecting, I collect dolls to restore them, to have like, to be able to redress them in fashions and take pictures of them. So they're like my little models really. And I think that a lot of my different hobbies all come together within like doll collecting, because I spend a lot of my time drawing as well, and so then I can use them as models, or I can like sketch out a fashion concept that I might want to sew for them, or I can sew them clothes, and it's not like a complete financial investment as it would be if I was going to do it for myself really. So I think also because they're just really fun to play with and have in your hands, and it's not like super expensive every doll. It's like if I just want to get a few pieces of clothing secondhand, I can pay like $1 and be really happy with just having a new piece of clothing that I really wanted to have. So it doesn't have to be an expensive hobby. It's what you really make it to, I think, personally. So I think that's what made me want to collect dolls, that it's like an amalgamation of everything that I like, really. So yeah. So next question is, which is your current most wanted doll? I think that's a super hard question, because there are a lot of dolls that I really want and I'm on the lookout for, like in general. I do try to stick to like a list that I've made of different dolls that I want in my collection, like ever, and then I like keep searching on eBay and on other secondhand sites, on Zen Market and stuff like that, on where I can find dolls and see what prices they come up with, and like discuss with myself if I'm willing to pay it, or if there's another doll I want right now, like checking out my normal economic condition. But if it wasn't about money at all and just having the doll, I really want the Integrity Toys Imogen Baby Blue like gift set. I think that her face and is just beyond gorgeous. I think her face, all of her like colouring is so pretty, and I really like her fringe, because I think doll fringes can be hideous, absolutely hideous when they're done wrong. And I think her fringe looks really good. I'd also definitely, I've been on the lookout for quite a long time, but I haven't taken the plunge quite yet, is the JHD anime like Platinum Journey. She's called the Royal Guard, like unofficially. She doesn't really have an official name, I think, but I really want her, because she's also just such a put together doll, and I am a sucker for a hat. I love a good doll hat. So I also really love her with her fur hat and everything like that. Which of your previously most wanted dolls do you now have? So there's actually a bit of a story for this doll. So I saw her on a secondhand site and tried bidding on her because I saw her and I just fell in love immediately. Loved her so much. And then I was bid sniped and I was so angry and mad, but I put her on the list. And then I'd say about like half a year later, somewhere like that, the same person put her up for sale again, or like the person who bought it, who'd sniped it out from me, for a cheap price. So I was super happy that I managed to get her. And that is the Millennium Yaya Midnight Orchid from JHD Dolls. She is just such a gorgeous doll. I don't know how well she's going to show up on camera because her skin tone is just so dark, but I think that she is one of the most beautiful dolls that I have ever seen. Her screening is so pretty, her hair is so pretty, like just her colouring in general I think is so like unique as well when you're in doll collecting. Like I collect mostly Mycings. The darkest we get there is Madison, unless you're able to fork out for a Yai, of course. But I think that she is just so beyond gorgeous. And for those 6 months that I didn't have her and I'd seen her, I could not stop thinking about her. So when she came back up for sale again for a really good price, I was so happy to be able to get her. And I got her, as I said, secondhand, so she doesn't have any of her original clothing, which most of my dolls don't have, but I don't think she needs it because I think she looks prettier in other clothing, really. So the next question is, what is the most amount of, like, what's the highest amount of dolls you've gotten at once? And this is a horror story in itself, but I bought a lot of dolls from the same seller. I think I bought like maybe 8 or 10 dolls, Mycene dolls from the same seller, which had a lot of the original clothing and stuff like that, but it was an absolute shit show. I'll tell you the story in a different video, but that's if you count dolls. If you count like Bratz ponies and stuff like that, I was recently able to get the entire Bratz ponies like catalogue of ponies. So 17 in one package, which is the most I've gotten out of anything ever, I think, in one package. So I'm super happy about that. And I'm probably going to do a video of unboxing them and restoring them, because I feel they probably have to get cleaned a bit. Which is your least favorite doll? I think this is a really weird question to have when you're a collector, because shouldn't you love every doll in your collection? And like, when you say least favorite, I guess it's like it's not a doll you hate or dislike necessarily. I have like a few dolls that I'm like considering letting go of. I still like them. It's not like I dislike them in any way, but I'd say if I have to pick one, I have the Barbie Mythical Muse Dragon Empress, and I think she's a pretty doll, but I think there's so much about her that I just don't like that I'm gonna have to sell her, because yeah, she just doesn't fit in my collection anymore, which is fine. And I hope she finds a better home somewhere else. Which of your dolls has the best story? So when I just started to collect dolls, I saw on a secondhand site that someone had put up a original Barbie Mycene first edition in really good condition on the secondhand site, and it was nearing my birthday, and so I sent the link to my husband and I said, this is what I want for my birthday. If you're not getting me this, I want you to tell me, because I really want it, and if you're not buying it, I am definitely buying it. And so I kept my eye on that doll, and he said, oh, thanks for the link, everything like that. And then he didn't say anything more, and so I was like, all right, guess we'll see, huh? Someone bought the doll, and someone, like, I looked up the user and everything, and I thought I was being very, like, sneaky and everything, but I was really mad at him because he hadn't told me he hadn't gotten it. And then on my birthday he brought it up because he had actually gotten it for me, so I was really really surprised. But this is the first edition, almost mint Barbie then, and I think she is just so pretty, and she's still got all the clothing sewn on and everything like that, and her hair is acceptable, but I think I might give it a few touch-ups, but the glasses are still attached, like sewn on and everything, and her clothing is in really good condition for being from first edition, since they for some reason decided to give her pretty much only pleather, which is like the bane of my existence because it just peels so much, and it is starting to peel a bit in a few places, and there's not like a huge amount of things I can do about that. But this is a doll that I have like just for display, that I don't play with at all. She's just for display because I think that she's like an art object in herself pretty much. So I don't really want to mess with her anyway. And yeah, she's also one of my only dolls that I've gotten as a gift. So I really, really love her. And he's so happy that he managed to surprise me, because it's never going to happen again. Never going to happen again. So the next question is, what do you do with your dolls? And I would say what I do mostly with my dolls is that I restyle them, and I really enjoy restoring dolls that I get. I spend a lot of time like redoing the hairstyles into things that I like, and I really enjoy taking pictures of the dolls that I've restyled and like posing them and stuff like that. So both posing them like on my display, but also like posing them and then taking pictures of them. So I like to think about my dolls as like models, but also like inspirations for myself and for my creativity, like for when I'm drawing and stuff like that. So A few of my collections are just because I think they're super pretty or like super cool looking and stuff like that, so I don't really want to play with them. But I'd say that most of them are for restyling and like restoring and stuff like that. Are there any other collections that you want to start? Like, I do collect a few other things, so like I collect postcards that I've received throughout the years, and like if we go to a museum I usually pick up a postcard that I really enjoy and stuff like that. I might want to start collecting Pokemon cards, but not really in the whole card situation. It sounds really horrible, but from what I see online, a lot of the Pokemon cards that people like pull and stuff like that are very cheap, or they don't even want them, and they're just trash essentially. And I'd really love to like cut out the little picture of the art, because usually I think the art is still really, really pretty, and just keep that. So that's something I would like to collect, and maybe some more figures, like anime figures and stuff like that. I wouldn't mind collecting a bit more of either. I think that'd be pretty cool. Do people know that you collect dolls and or toys? Yes, I am in no way closed about that. I'm very open with me collecting dolls. I think that it's something that I really enjoy, and if this person is supposed to be my friend or someone who's supposed to be in my life, then they're going to be fine with that and completely alright with it. I think that the trash takes itself out is a really good saying when it comes to social interactions. Like, the reason I'm not showing my face is because I'm really not comfortable with people online seeing me. I'm a bit shy, but I don't really hide any of my hobbies at all, pretty much. Does your family support your collection? Well, kind of. They're not like against it, but they're not really like buying me dolls or anything like that. They have their own stuff going on, which is fine. And besides, I have a lot of hobbies, not just doll collecting, but I paint, I draw, I really love music, I have a lot of other stuff I really enjoy, like playing video games and things like that. So it's not like I have just one hobby to focus on. I have a lot of stuff going on. Ooh, what was your first doll / toy collection that you can remember? Do you still have them? I do still have them. So this is my first Littlest Pet Shop that I ever had. It's the turtle from the, I think, first edition. And I remember that my grandparents got all of me and my siblings one LPS each for Christmas, and my brother got a cat, and my other brother got a dog, and I got the turtle, and I was so happy with that. And he's worn this little like bow thing, I don't know for how many years. I think I tried to get it off at one point but just gave up, and now I just think it's cute that it's still there. So yeah, I still have him, even though I think the rest of the LPS collection is with my mom and dad. So yeah. Which doll started each of your collections? I don't really know if I count like each of my collections of different brands as different collections, really. I think I see as more of a whole, but if it was like the entire collection, it would be the Asa and Riley that I showed you earlier. Other than that, if it was like each one separately, I think it's really hard, because I collect a lot of different dolls, and like I don't think I could say which one was the first, because like I only have one of a lot of dolls. Like I only have one of the Integrity Toys Dynamite Girls, and only one like Fashion Royalty Nippon Misakis, and like I think for GAHD it was the Midnight Orchid Yaya, and I think for Integrity Toys it would be Erin Salston's Night Out. I saw her secondhand as well, and I'd be looking at Integrity Toys for a bit, and then I decided to get her because I think that she was so pretty. I don't really know who it would be for Barbie and for Lika and stuff like that. It's hard to know, really, because a lot of like when you get it secondhand, you often get dolls like in a lot, and then you get several of them at the same time, so it wouldn't be just like one. And the last question is, what is your favorite place to shop for dolls? Online secondhand. That's pretty much the only place that I can buy dolls. There are toy shops where I live, but they only sell Barbie, and they only sell new stuff, and none of the stuff that I'm interested in. And I pretty much don't collect anything new. I think the newest thing that I collect, I guess, is Barbie, but that's mostly for the bodies more than anything, since I pretty much only collect My Scene Barbies, and a few other Barbies that I have that I think about as like artworks that are like in box and displayed and everything. But like, yeah, pretty much only online secondhand. So that would be like local online Facebook groups for secondhand, like Facebook groups for secondhand dolls specifically, Zen Market, eBay, like My Nation's version of eBay, like Mercari, stuff like that. So pretty much only online, but I would love to have like a physical doll store. That would be so much fun just to be able to go and browse, but that it doesn't really work like that, which I guess is good, since you don't really impulse buy anything that way, kind of, unless it's like new and on sale and stuff. Either way. So yeah, that would be the doll tag part 1. So I'm thinking about making 2 more videos of this, one of a second part that's connected to this one somehow that I also found online, and then I saw that Doll Coven had made a like dolls on display tag recently that I also really thought would be fun to participate in, and I thought it'd be a good introduction to me in the collection. So yeah, this would be the end of the video. If you have any questions for me about me or my collection, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and otherwise I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!